Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and today we're going to make a simple gatefold card. I just thought this would be a good idea or good opportunity to explain to you the principle behind working out a gatefold card. Once you know that principle, you'll then be able to make a gatefold card in various different sizes. So basically, a gatefold card is a card that opens at the front like a set of gates. So the gates, if you like, we're going to use my hands as the gates. These two pieces make up the same distance, if you like, as the back piece of the card. So working on that basis, whatever your length of card is, if you divide it by 2 and then divide it by 2 again, that will give you the sections for your gates. So I'll show you on this piece of cardstock. So this is a piece of cardstock, I think this is soft sea foam, that I've cut at 10.5 centimetres. I've cut the length of an A4 sheet. Again, if you're not in the UK, then you may have to adjust the measurements on this slightly, but for those of you that are in the UK, this is half of an A4 sheet cut lengthways, so at 10.5 centimetres. So a standard UK sheet is 29.8 or 7 centimetres long, standard UK A4. So what I've done is I have trimmed this piece down to 29 centimetres, which literally takes off this little tiny sliver. Okay, so now what we're going to do is the scoring to make the gates. So our card is 29 centimetres long, so if we divide that in half, that gives us a measurement of 14.5. So I'm going to make my first no, I'm not, ignore me. 14.5 will be the back of the card. So if we then divide that in half again, it's 7.25. So you'll have to excuse me if my head gets in the shot. Okay, so make sure that's level. So that's our first score there. Then I'm going to take it out, I'm going to turn it round, and I am going to score it again from the other end at 7.25. Okay, and that will give us our back of our card and our 2 gates. I'll just move my trimmer out of the way, and then we can fold these over and you can see that they meet in the middle. There is a very, very slight gap, and that is caused by the fact that the scoring process stretches the fibres of the card. Okay, but it is only a very small gap and it won't matter. Okay, so what we're going to do is give those a good burnish. So I've burnished front and back. Okay, so that's the base of our card. Now this is a super quick card. If you need the card in a hurry, this is your girl. Okay, I've got some of the Forever Greenery, I think, papers. No, it isn't actually. This is one of the, I can't think what it was called now. It was a Celebration one. But, unfortunately, all of the papers that are in our current annual catalogue will be retiring at the end of the month, ready for the new catalogue to go live on the 4th of May. You might notice that we're actually launching the catalogue early this year. And that's because the dates have been very slightly changed. It's normally the 4th of June, but this year it's the 4th of May. And I've just got 2 pieces of DSP, or designer series paper, that I've cut here to go on. And as a general rule of thumb, whatever your size of cardstock is, if you cut your piece of paper 0.5 centimetre less, then you'll have a nice border around it. Okay, so that's one piece there. Okay, so for those of you that want the maths, that would be 6.75 centimetres by 10 for these 2 sections. So we're just going to pop those on there. I feel like these YouTube videos are a bit of a last chance to see kind of film, because a lot of the stuff that I'm using, unfortunately, will be retiring, but there are lots of lovely new things coming, and I will be giving you a sneak peek of some new things to come very soon. Okay, and then I've gone ahead and I've used the flowering vine dies. These are one of my favourite dies, and I'm really sad that these are going to retire. They're so multi-use. I don't buy anything that just does one thing. I like things that are suitable for lots. So these are the ovals. There was an oval, a square and a circle in the flowering vines, and there are also little flowers that sit behind these flowers, so you can add some colour, and you'll see a card with that in on my next video. So I'm not adding flowers behind on these, so I'm just adding a little bit of wet glue to the more solid areas. I didn't want to cover up too much of the patterned paper that we've got behind here. As I said, as a general rule of thumb, all of our designer series patterned papers retire at the end of a catalogue period, and we get new papers. There is an exception to that this year, and we have got the In Good Taste papers going over into the new catalogue. Right, I'm just going to stick those on there. Oops. Okay, so that's one side, and I'm going to do the other side. So this, as I said, is a really quick and simple card. You can dress it up with some extra bits and pieces if you feel the need. But I'm just giving you the bare bones of the card here just to talk you through how easy it is. I think a lot of people get put off by a gatefold card, but actually you don't even have to be good at maths. You just need a calculator to be able to work it out, and roughly even numbers. Okay, so this is where I have to pick it up, I'm afraid. What we do want to do is line these up, and you'll notice that I've got one way and one the other, and that is intentional. But if you're a bit anal about it, then obviously make them match. In fact, actually, I am going to do that. I am going to make them match. Okay. Sometimes I like things not to match perfectly, but I might have people telling me off if I don't. Okay, so we're just going to press those down firmly and give those a little bit of time to dry. Okay, so that's the front of our card. And then what I've done is, just because this needs to be a very quick and simple card, what I've done is I've used the double butterfly dragonfly punch, and I have just punched out, sorry, get my brain in gear, not die cut, punched out the large dragonfly and the small one. So they punch both at the same time, unless you feed a strip in if you only want one. And basically what I've punched these out of, I did, I think I did it as a Facebook rather than a YouTube video, but the new gilding flakes, I wanted to try some different techniques with those. And I had the idea of using the Wild Roses stamp, which is a big stamp, to use the gilding flakes on. And unfortunately, because it is a big stamp, I just could not be quick enough with the heat and stick powder and then the gilding flakes to get them to stick. So it was a little bit hit and miss, but I don't like to waste anything. So what I've actually done is I've been using it to punch out or die cut with, so the sheet is not wasted. Oh, excuse me, just dropped a dragonfly on the floor. Oh, all right, that's it. So all I'm going to do, because I think these dies speak for themselves in being so lovely, all I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that dragonfly on one side of those flower and vine dies. Oops. And then I'm just going to put the little one, yeah, the little one down here. So we've got two of those on one side. And then I'm just going to fit a card insert in there, and that will be where we'll stamp our greeting. And these are this is the Vine Design stamp set that goes with those stamps. And what I'm going to do is just grab out a couple of those. I'm just digging for my stamp apparatus in the drawer. There it is. Okay. Now you can do this with a block or you can do it with the stamp apparatus, but I'm cheating and I want to do it all at once. So I'm just going to put my piece of cardstock in there and put my stamps where I want them to go. Just make sure that I get them the right way up. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Do I want it like that, or do I want it down here? I think I'm going to have it coming down like that, actually. And then we'll pop that one in the middle. I'm going to press down. Now I'm being a bit naughty because I've still got my foam mat in here because I was using this with photopolymer last. And you should really take it out because it can damage your hinge. So do as I say and not as I do. And I'm just going to grab... Oh, sorry if I just jiggled the camera there. I'm just going to grab some soft seafoam ink and I'm going to go over those 2 stamps. And this is one of the things I love about the Stamparatus is that you can get everything stamped in one go. Okay, so that's that. So we'll lift that up. And there we go. We've got our greeting and we've got that nice vine effect there in one go. Okay, so I'm just going to take that out of there and I'll put that to one side and I'll clean that up and put the stamps away back in their case in a second. And then we're just going to put some wet glue onto the back of this section here. And pop that into the middle of the card. And with our wet glue, that gives us a little bit of wiggle room to try and get it level. Okay, we'll smooth that down and there's our card. So we've got our dragonflies, we've got our die cut flowers, and then we've got a nice greeting and a little bit of stamping inside. So that's my super quick gatefold card with hopefully a understandable explanation of how to calculate your scores for a gatefold card. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping.